Court will hear arguments this morning after intervening on Election Day to stop Dallas County from extending polling hours. The latest on what this could mean for voters.
Plus, voters in Texas, they headed to the polls yesterday for that closely watched U.S. Senate primary. 12 News reporter Derek Jones, he's going to be in studio this morning breaking it down for both parties.
We're also breaking down races closer to home, including the matchup between a longtime Jefferson County commissioner and a challenger aiming to take his seat. 12 News Daybreak on 12 News Plus starts now. 12 News is your election headquarters, from Rogers Park in Beaumont to the Public Library in Port Arthur and Pot 2 in Mauriceville. We saw thousands of Southeast Texans get out and vote on Election Day. 12 News spent yesterday tracking Republicans and Democrats in closely watched primary showdowns. Thanks for being here on 12 News Plus. I'm Tia Johnson.
And I'm Mark Armstrong, and this morning we're going to break down all the big races across Southeast Texas and the state, and even some Election Day issues. But first, let's go ahead and check in with Jeff as we take a live look outside from our Roofing 911 Live Skycam network above Jasper. Jeff, it's all eyes on the weekend, huh?
Excuse me.
All eyes on him.
Yeah, we're going to see some rain this weekend, and the rain looks like it could be heavy at times. Excuse me, I just had some water too. Storms are possible as we head towards Saturday night into Sunday. Like I mentioned, maybe a couple of inches of rain over the weekend. Not looking at any severe weather, not looking at any thing as far as any flooding or anything like that. Man, all right. Temperatures right now in the 60s. We'll get up into the lower 80s for today with southeasterly winds.
All right, Jeff, thank you. Before the election results, we get to those, we have developing story out of North Texas. Arguments, they are set this morning before the Texas Supreme Court after it stepped in on Election Day to block Dallas County order that extended voting hours.
County officials had pushed polling locations at Democratic sites to stay open until 9 p.m., citing reports that voters were being turned away. But the state's highest court halted that extension and ordered any ballots cast by voters who were not in line by the standard 7 p.m. deadline to be set aside. Those late ballots are now being separated, a move election officials say could delay and complicate results in Dallas County. Voters say confusion over new precinct assignments and separate party primaries led to long lines and mix-ups. Also in Texas, voters cast their ballots yesterday in a closely watched primary for the U.S. Senate. That's a race that could help shape control of the U.S. Senate next fall.
Yeah, our 12 News reporter Derek Jones, he joins us in studio, breaking it all down. Derek?
Mark and Tia, on the Democratic side, State Representative James Tallarico has emerged as the party's nominee, defeating U.S. Representative Jasmine Crockett in a hard-fought contest that drew national attention and record spending. Meanwhile, incumbent Senator John Cornyn and Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton failed to win with more than 50% needed to claim the GOP nomination outright, setting up a runoff election in May. Cornyn, seeking a fifth term, led early returns with just over 42% of the vote, while Paxton, who has strong support from the MAGA-aligned base despite ongoing legal and ethical controversies, finished a close second. Congressman Wesley Hunt finished further back and has pledged support for the runoff contenders. Senator Cornyn says he's not backing down.
I refuse to allow a flawed, self-centered, and shameless candidate like Ken Paxton risk everything we've worked so hard to build over these many years.
The primary was marked by high turnout, contentious campaigns, and logistical challenges at some polling locations, reflecting the intense and what's become one of the most expensive and closely watched Senate nominee contests in recent Texas history. The Republican runoff promises to be costly. Both campaigns already signaling they will ramp up advertising and outreach as they battled for a chance to face Tallarico in the general election. In studio, Derek Jones, 12 News.
All right, Derek, let's go ahead and turn to one of the hottest races here across Southeast Texas. We're talking about the State Senate District 3 race. It was called later last night when Trent Ashby secured 63% of the vote. Rhonda Ward, she conceded after only getting 36%. Ashby's now going to represent 18 counties in the Texas Senate, including Hardin, Jasper, Liberty, Orange, and Tyler locally. And there's going to be a runoff in the Republican race for Texas Attorney General.
12 News reporter Cameron Burchett breaks down what happened last night.
Tia, Mark, we know right now that there will be a runoff for the Republican Attorney General race in May. But first, let's take a look at how the election night results turned out. Texans will elect a new Attorney General since Ken Paxton ran for Senate. On the Republican side of the primary, State Senator Mays Middleton led with 40% of the vote, and Texas Congressman Chip Roy followed with 30%, sending the two men to the May runoff. State Senator John Huffman received 14%. Former DOJ Attorney Aaron Ritz also received 14%. On the Democratic side, State Senator Nathan Johnson led the way against Attorney Tony Box and the former Galveston Mayor Joe Jaworski. Once again, Mays Middleton and Chip Roy will be heading to the runoff in May. In studio, Cameron Burchett, 12 News.
And the primaries will continue in May, and voters, you need to be prepared.
Yeah, here's a few deadlines to keep in mind. The last day to register to vote is Monday, April 27th for that May runoff. Early voting, that's going to run May 18th through the 22nd, and Election Day is May 26th. And in Jefferson County, there has been an upset in the County Commissioner Precinct 4 race.
Beaumont City Council member A.J. Turner has beaten incumbent Bo Alfred, who served in the role for more than 20 years. Children's reporter Ebony Coleman spoke to Turner after the race was called.
I am here with A.J. Turner. A.J., we've looked at the numbers, 700 votes you led the polls with this primary election. How are you feeling right now?
I'm feeling humbly thankful and gracious. You know, first and foremost, like I said earlier, I want to thank my opponent for his years of service, but most importantly, I thank the community. I thank people for believing in vision, looking forward, looking to the future, and I think the community has definitely spoken.
First day in office, what are you planning to kind of hit the ground running with?
The first thing you want to do is assess and evaluate what's already existing. You want to get with staff and look at the strategic plans. You want to look at funding. You want to see where money's going. And you actually want to learn what they do day-to-day operations. I think it's important in order to be successful, you have to listen to the people that's already been there. And I'm looking forward to listening, learning, and evaluating and assessing what's currently going on with Precinct 4.
Something that Bo told me, Commissioner Alfred, former Commissioner Alfred, was that he was wanting to help you make that transition. Is it something that you would be willing and open to having done?
I mean, as an elected official, we run for office. It's our job to work with each other to make things better. You should never take a race personal. Of course, I would be open to working with the current commissioner. He's been there for 25 years, and with that level of experience, as a younger man, why wouldn't I listen to him and take some advice?
AJ, I heard from some of your colleagues on City Council. They said that Mayor West, Councilman Durio, they said they're sad that you're leaving, but you're just a phone call away and they're happy for you. Hearing those words coming from them, what does that mean to you?
It means the world to me that my colleagues, Mayor West, LaDonna Sherwood, Corey Crenshaw, Chris Durio, they speak highly of me, and I'm thankful for that because you're only as strong as your team, and if your team believes in you, that shows the level of respect they have for you, and I'm thankful that my teammates feel that way about me.
How does it feel to be surrounded by family through all this?
Man, my morals, my values, my principles is family, my wife and my kids. My wife was the one who told me, baby, you're running for this seat, and I'm not taking no for an option. So I'm a firm believer behind every strong man is a strong woman.
What does the future look like for A.J. Turner when it comes to government and politics and your career with this?
I'm currently focused on doing the job that the people asked me to run for. I had a lot of people come to me and ask me to actually vow for this position, but I think it's important to think politically. If God allows me, I'm willing to go as high as Washington, D.C.
There you have it, Ebony Coleman in Beaumont, 12 News.
Let's take a look at a few other races from across the region.
Yeah, first in the Jefferson County Justice of the Peace Precinct 4 race, incumbent Justin Chazon, he has claimed victory over his challenger Mo Mofino with 63% of the vote in that primary.
In the Jefferson County JP Precinct 2 race, incumbent Joseph Guillory is facing a runoff against Brandon Bartee, son of former Port Arthur Mayor Thurman Bartee.
And in another big JP race in Jefferson County, the Democratic primary for Justice of the Peace Precinct 1 Place 2, incumbent Ben Collins Sr. has had a tight race against Stacey Lewis Jr., but he ended up winning it out. He's now going to face Republican challenger and former Jefferson County GOP chairman Joe Evans Jr.
And in the race for Jefferson County GOP party chair, Brian Markland beat out conservative Hundred Shiloh Platts with nearly 53% of the vote. Switching gears now to other news. Americans are now trying to evacuate the Middle East as missiles and drone strikes disrupt air travel.
Yeah, the Trump administration, 5 days into this conflict, now scrambling to help. ABC's Nicole D'Antonio has the latest.
This morning, with the war against Iran raging, as many as 1,500 Americans are believed to be in the Middle East looking for a way out.
It's a lot of different things here that need to happen in order to move people.
After urging Americans to evacuate despite major disruptions to air travel across the region, the State Department now says it is actively securing military aircraft and charter flights for American citizens.
Not feeling super confident about this flight taking off. The airport's pretty empty.
American Alyssa Ramos managed to make her way from Kuwait City to the airport in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia.
Oh my God, I'm so happy. I've never been happier to be in Egypt.
She was eventually able to fly to Egypt and is now helping others find transportation out of the region.
We have a lot of options for land transfers.
For those Americans still stranded, Secretary of State Rubio has encouraged them to call the State Department's hotline. But when reached yesterday, this was the recorded message.
Please do not rely on the U.S. government for assisted departure or evacuation at this time. There are currently no United States evacuation points.
Overnight, the message was updated with a new recording saying the State Department wants to help and telling callers to stay on the line. In the meantime, different narratives have emerged over why the U.S. chose now to attack Iran. Secretary Rubio on Monday suggested an imminent strike by Israel played a role. But yesterday, President Trump appeared to contradict that claim.
Mr. President, did Israel force your hand to launch these strikes against Iran? Did Netanyahu pull the United States into this war?
No, I might have forced their hand.
Trump offering a new explanation, saying Iran was set to attack. But after emerging from a classified briefing, Democrats claimed there was no evidence justifying an attack.
The point is, there was no imminent threat. There clearly was no imminent threat.
And Republican Senator Lindsey Graham says Iran was trying to restart its nuclear program, and that played a major role in Trump's decision to strike. Nicole D'Antonio, ABC News, Washington.
And the Trump administration not ruling out the possibility of sending ground troops into this conflict. Coming up here on 12 News Plus, a trial aimed at ticket prices is underway, while the government claims Live Nation uses strong-arm tactics to control the industry. Plus, a second child gets stuck in the same claw machine, and a P. Diddy update. Your trending news is coming up. Your time is 7:12.
Share your pics and video with 12 News. Just go to the Near Me tab inside the 12 News Now app and click Share with Us. To the spot welders and forklift drivers. To the pipeline technicians and plant operators. To the chemists, custodians, and contractors. And the engineers, pilots, and wellhead pumpers. To the people working day after day, keeping our Power City rolling, 12 News is telling your stories.
Extended the temporary restraining order.
When industry news breaks, we're on the front lines, digging into the issue, filtering out rumors, and giving you the facts, direct from inside sources.
Lamar is working to protect Power City from hackers.
Taking on the story from all sides and all angles with award-winning coverage.
The company filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy.
Southeast Texas is a Power City, and we're bringing the power to you. 12 News, putting Southeast Texas first.
As Texans, we have many reasons to be proud of the Lone Star State. Showing our pride by saying, "Don't mess with Texas," means we gotta step up, walk the walk. Do our part to keep Texas clean. Because after all these years, all these miles, all these traditions, for all us Texans, "Don't mess with Texas" means don't litter.
It's time to honor our local educators with the 12 News Golden Apple Awards. Once a month, 12 News will surprise an educational staff member who has gone above and beyond to make a positive impact on the lives of Southeast Texas students. Nominate your educator by going to 12newsnow.com/goldenapple to do your part in showcasing the heroes that make a difference both inside and outside the classroom. The Golden Apple Awards every month on 12 News.
From Dallas to Houston, San Antonio to Austin, it's the news that moves all of Texas. Texas News Now. One power-packed hour with enough Texas news to fill a 10-gallon hat. Your top headlines, weather alerts, and big travel updates. No matter where you're headed, across town or across the state, we've got Texas covered. Texas News Now, weekdays noon, only on 12 News Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
Welcome back. For years, music fans, they have complained that concert ticket prices are just way too high. And now a trial aimed at bringing those prices down is underway. The question, is Live Nation a monopoly? Here's ABC's Sophie Flay.
This morning, the trial that could lead to the breakup of Live Nation is underway in New York. A jury set to decide whether the entertainment giant, which combined with Ticketmaster in 2016, is driving up prices in the music industry. It's me. In opening statements, a Justice Department lawyer pointed to the pre-sale event for Taylor Swift's Eras Tour in 2022, when Ticketmaster's site was overwhelmed and crashed, saying, "This case is about power, the power of a monopolist to control competition. Today, the concert ticket industry is broken."
The debacle that was trying to get tickets for the Eras Tour is at the heart of this case, because Ticketmaster and Live Nation can't get away from how horrible that experience was for so many people.
The government claims Live Nation uses strong-arm tactics to control the industry, such as demanding artists use its promotion services in order to perform at its venues, and pressuring major venues into signing deals. Live Nation's attorney disputes those claims, saying the government is cherry-picking examples, saying the marketplace is more competitive than ever, and blaming not the company but online bots for the Taylor Swift ticket sale debacle. An executive who oversees Taylor Swift's tours is among those set to testify at the trial.
Leading into the trial, Live Nation actually won a major argument, having the judge agree to dismiss some of the claims that the company had monopolized concert promotions and bookings. But the company still has to defend itself against claims that it pressures venues to sign exclusive ticketing deals and makes artists use its concert promotion services.
The trial is expected to last 6 weeks. Sophie Flay, ABC News, New York.
Looking ahead to the weekend, we have a weather impact alert for Saturday night going into Sunday. We'll have some rain and thunderstorms moving through the area. Not expecting any severe weather, not expecting any flooding rains, but we are expecting possibility of some heavy rain at times, and we'll see some gusty winds from some of those thunderstorms, lightning of course, and then maybe a couple of inches of rain throughout Saturday and Sunday. So together both those days, maybe a couple of inches of rain, maybe a few isolated spots more than that. It's just going to bring those outdoor plans indoors from time to time over the weekend. So download 12 News Plus app, get the radar there. You can kind of gauge when you can be out and when you can't, if we're not on air helping you out with that. Temperatures right now in the 60s, from 68 in Kirbyville and Silsbee to about 67 in Orange and Port Arthur, 65 in Beaumont, 63 in Jasper, Woodville currently at about 66. Outside, take you up towards the lakes area, and we're seeing mostly sunny skies up there in Jasper. Then you're bringing me back down here towards Port Arthur, and we have mostly cloudy skies, if not cloudy skies, thanks to a little bit of low-level cloud deck that we had around this morning. This camera brought you by Market Basket, part of the Roofing 911 Live Sky Cam network. Have a cold front to our north. This front will eventually make it down into southeast Texas as we head towards the weekend. That's what's sparking off some of that rain. Until then, it should stay off towards our north and west, and you can see it's producing some rain through Oklahoma, Arkansas. As you get a little bit farther north, some heavier rains up through Missouri and Kansas for this morning. We're pretty quiet. There are a few showers, looks like west of Houston, but they should stay west of our area for today. Temperatures getting into the 70s by mid to late morning, and then we climb up into the lower 80s for a few hours this afternoon. Partly cloudy skies today, and then we drop off into the 70s for this evening. Eventually 60s again as we head towards tomorrow morning. A lot of middle 60s to start off on Thursday morning. So the forecast reads like this for today: partly cloudy. We'll see the southeasterly winds at 5 to 15, and we'll generally have temperatures anywhere from say 78, 79 towards the coast to maybe 82, 83 inland up towards the lakes area. So generally between 80 and 83 for later on this afternoon. Cloudy skies, maybe a little bit of patchy fog overnight. Nothing looks like it's going to be widespread, and we'll see temperatures back into the 60s as we head into looks like Thursday morning, maybe some upper 60s towards the coast. Don't forget, again, this weekend we'll see some rain coming into the area. We haven't seen it in a while, and along with that could be some thunderstorms with some gusty wind and lightning. Like I also mentioned, I don't expect to see much in the way of any severe weather or anything like that. Definitely could see a couple of inches of rain. For Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, temperatures in the lower 80s, morning lows in the 60s. Small chance of rain on Friday, and then a 70% coverage of rain on Saturday, 50% on Sunday. So pretty widespread rainfall over the weekend. After we get past the weekend, we're going into next week. Small chance of rain on Monday, and then on Tuesday looks dry, and you see temperatures really don't fall back behind the front. We'll stay right there on the warm side of things. We'll be right there near 80 degrees. Our normal high this time of year, about 70, 71. So about 10 degrees warmer than we should be for this time of year.
Definitely feeling warmer out there, I'll say that, but it's not too hot, so that's nice.
Yeah, nice to know it's not too hot. We can enjoy.
That's true.
It's all true. Also, watch out for that rain this weekend. You can download our app at any time to get the latest on the weather. You can check the radar by going to the radar tab in the app. Hey, we can have a little fun now here on Daybreak. Let's do some trending news.
We've been having fun all morning.
I see that. 7:20. We are having fun. How far would you go to pitch your startup?
Yeah, how about waist deep into freezing cold water? Take notes. In Finland, polar bear pitching has entrepreneurs wading into the icy waters of the sea to sell ideas to investors. Judges watch from a snow-covered red carpet in temps well below zero. The winner of this competition was a Swiss startup attempting to solve the problem of overheating in electronics. The grand prize, a whopping 10,000 euros. That's just over $11,000 in the U.S.
So many ridiculous things about this. The guy dressed up as the polar bear is the best part. Like that.
Well, then I saw one person with their shirt off, someone with their shirt on, someone with the basketball. I wonder if you win by how creative your pitch is while you're still in all of that.
How dedicated are you?
Not that dedicated,
No,
babe.
me neither.
All right. Well, it happened again. A second child got stuck in a claw machine in Missouri.
Yeah, Ryan Campbell says that he was watching his daughter when all of a sudden he looked over and realized his son had found his way inside the machine. He had to convince 3-year-old Patrick to crawl on out. But just a few weeks ago, the fire department had to get 2-year-old boy named Cooper out of that exact same machine. You'll remember when we did that also on Daybreak. The fire department now has a toolkit on hand, so if this ever happens again, what are the chances? I'd say pretty good if kids keep on crawling up in there.
Going back to that picture of him smiling, you ever looked at a kid and say, you just look bad?
Yes.
He
looks
looked
so
bad.
So you can't do anything about it.
Right.
All right, Sean Diddy Combs, he's going to be released from prison a little sooner than expected.
Yeah, the rapper is now scheduled to be freed on April 25th of 2028. His release date was initially set as May 8th, 2028, when he was sentenced last year, but it was later pushed back to June 4th. You may remember the whole nation was watching this case last year. Jurors found P. Diddy guilty of 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution, but acquitted him on the most serious charge of racketeering in both sex trafficking counts. The 56-year-old is serving his time at a low-security federal prison in New Jersey.
Those courtroom sketches, they still cracked me up just a little bit. They were so dramatic of P. Diddy. I mean, I'm obviously capturing some dramatic moments there, of course, but definitely left a mark.
I'd love to see him have a reality show, The Life After.
Oh, yeah.
What is life for him after all of this?
I bet that's going to happen.
What will that be like? All right. 7:23. When we come back, Jeff will know what that weather will be like. Your time now, 7:23.
This is a tornado on the ground.
And the roads are slippery.
We have a tropical storm warning.
Look at this water.
Street flooding in Boma.
It is going to get extremely cold.
The metal building blew away from a business.
Staying safe behind the wheel is imperative.
Find a safe spot, move to an interior room.
Just make sure you're staying safe.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on 12 News Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
The STEM fields are providing opportunity to be part of the developments that will shape the future, and the Army National Guard is at the forefront of the movement. Soldiers can serve part-time and choose from dozens of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics jobs, working with cutting-edge technology and innovations. And the skills and experience they receive can open doors for them to civilian careers in the STEM world. Join a team that is taking the lead in STEM by talking to a local recruiter or by going to nationalguard.com/careers.
It's time to honor our local educators with the 12 News Golden Apple Awards. Once a month, 12 News will surprise an educational staff member who has gone above and beyond to make a positive impact on the lives of Southeast Texas students. Nominate your educator by going to 12newsnow.com/goldenapple. To do your part, in showcasing the heroes that make a difference both inside and outside the classroom. The Golden Apple Awards, every month on 12 News.
No matter where we start, every mile brings us closer. And as Texans, we take care of each other along the way. We lend a hand, slow down, and take our time. At the end of the day, we all want to get home safe. Drive like a Texan. Kind, courteous, and safe.
We're working to get more information from Beaumont Police.
Join 12 News weekdays at 6 and 10 p.m., keeping you informed on what matters most.
And keep you safe when weather impacts your day.
Following the excitement with your team.
Covering local issues that matter in your community.
Watch 12 News at 6 and 10 p.m. and stream on 12 News Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
Another mild start out there this morning at the bus stop. You'll see temperatures in the middle 60s, middle to upper 70s at recess, and around 80 degrees on the way home for this afternoon. Dense fog advisory along the coast this morning. Southeastern winds at 10 knots, seas around 2 feet. Next high tides at 4:07 for this evening. Our sunsets tonight about 6:17. Choppy on the inland lakes and bays for today, and we do have a weather impact alert as we head towards Saturday night, about 9 p.m. to about midnight or so. Deal with some gusty winds and some lightning, some heavy downpours. Might pick up a couple of inches of rain Saturday night, and then again as we head towards Sunday. So download the 12 News Plus app if you haven't already. You can check the radar there and keep up to date over the weekend.
And coming up here on Daybreak on 12 News Plus, election night in Newton County, it hit a snag when a vote counting machine froze just minutes after the polls closed. We're breaking down the latest there.
Plus, the Texas Supreme Court will hear arguments after blocking Dallas County's extended polling hours. The latest on what it can mean for voters.
And our election coverage continues as the race for governor is heating up. In Texas, Governor Greg Abbott's going to face off against a challenger in November. What they had to say last night.
Time now 7:26. We'll have more news and weather in just a few minutes. For now, taking a live look at the skies of orange. You're watching 12 News Daybreak on 12 News Plus. Welcome back. 12 News is your election headquarters, from Rogers Park in Beaumont to the Public Library in Port Arthur and Pod 2 in Mauriceville. We saw thousands of Southeast Texans get out and vote on Election Day. 12 News spent yesterday tracking Republicans and Democrats in closely watched primary showdowns. Thanks for being here. I'm Tia Johnson.
And I'm Mark Armstrong. And this morning we're going to break down all the big races across Southeast Texas and the state, and even some of that Election Day chaos. But first, let's check in with Jeff, and we'll take a live look here real quick outside from your Roofing 911 Live Skycam network. 7:30 a.m. right now. Jeff, pretty good day out there today, but not so much for the weekend, huh?
No, we're bringing in rain for the weekend, something we haven't seen for a while. We're talking about measurable rainfall, maybe a couple of inches of rain. If you total them up between, say, Saturday and Sunday, maybe 1 or 2 inches of rain. Could see some thunderstorms, but they should be general thunderstorms. We're not looking at any severe weather or anything like that. We're not looking at any flooding or anything like that, but there could be some heavy rain at times. Locally heavy rain, like I said, storms maybe late Saturday, then again on Sunday, a couple of inches, some gusty winds, lightning, as you generally see with thunderstorms. So just keep that 12 News Plus app on your phone and open as we get through the weekend, especially if you're trying to get outdoor plans in. That'll be a great tool to have if you're checking the radar or trying to see when you can get outside. Temperatures right now in the 60s for this morning. 66 in Beaumont, 67 through Orange, Port Arthur, and Kirbyville, 68 in Silsbee. Woodville's at 65 and Jasper currently at about 63. Our day planner takes us to about 80 today with partly cloudy skies and southeasterly winds at 5 to 15. Looks like dry today and tomorrow. Then we set up for that rain coming up in the weekend. We'll look more about that coming up in weather.
All right, Jeff, it's 7:31 right now, and it is time for your morning rush.
Let's take a look at your top stories this morning. Deputies are investigating a deadly auto pedestrian crash yesterday near Nederland. The Jefferson County Sheriff's Office says a man was walking along Highway 69 North at Spurlock Road and was hit and killed by a vehicle. Chief Dante Miller says the driver wasn't hurt and will not face charges. Deputies are assisting DPS with this investigation.
Marshall Middle School in Beaumont, they went into a brief lockdown Tuesday morning after Beaumont ISD said that its monitoring software flagged a potential threat. The district police, they took a student into custody, and they say that he's going to be charged with making a terroristic threat. The district uses software known as Gaggle to scan student online activity from signs of violence, self-harm, suicide, or bullying.
Beaumont police are asking for your help catching the person who shot and killed Christiane Marks. Officers found her dead inside an apartment at the Pine Club Apartments late Sunday night. Detectives believe the shooting was not random. Residents are asked to review surveillance video from 10:30 to 11:40 p.m. that night. Anyone with information should contact police or Crime Stoppers.
And a tanker truck driver was cited yesterday morning after he failed to yield to a train. This happened near Nederland there along Twin City Highway near the Sun Marine Terminal facility. The Jefferson County Sheriff's Office says that the driver was taken to the hospital with minor injuries. Officials say that they don't know what the truck was carrying, but nothing appeared to be leaking. The crash temporarily closed several intersections.
7:33 right now. 12 News is your election headquarters. State Representative James Talarico has won the Democratic Party nomination for U.S. Senate.
Yeah, but that all just before 2 this morning. The AP, they declared the winner with 85% of the votes counted. Now, results show that Talarico leading about 53% of the vote, while Crockett, she trailed with just under 46%. Now, Talarico is now waiting to see which Republican he's going to face in November, either Senator John Cornyn or Attorney General Ken Paxton. That race, and the Republican Party is running to a runoff. And a developing story out of North Texas. Arguments, they are set this morning before the Texas Supreme Court after it stepped in on Election Day to block a Dallas County order that extended voting hours. County officials, they had pushed polling locations at Democratic sites to stay open until 9 p.m., citing reports that voters were being turned away. But the state's highest court, they halted that extension and ordered any ballots cast by voters who were not in line by the standard 7 p.m. deadline to be set aside. Now, those late ballots, they are now being separated, a move that election officials say could delay and complicate results there in Dallas County. Now, voters say that confusion over the new precinct assignments and separate party primaries, they led to long lines and a whole lot of mix-ups.
Another closely watched Senate contest, this one in North Carolina, where two candidates have emerged victorious in the primary race. Michael Whatley has won the Republican Senate primary and is looking to replace retiring Republican Senator Tom Tillis. Tillis has broken with Trump in recent months, while Whatley has Trump's endorsement. On the Democratic side, the former governor Roy Cooper is in the race and was not facing any serious challenges for the nomination. He is key in the Democrats' hope of flipping the Senate in November as they seek to defend all their Senate seats and flip 4 more. Cooper termed out as governor in 2024 after serving 8 years.
And back here in Texas, the Associated Press called the race after Governor Greg Abbott won more than 80% of the vote in his primary. He ended the night in victory at Cedar Door in downtown Austin, where he vowed to keep Texas, Texas. Now, the governor who launched his bid for re-election was challenged by 10 other Republicans who didn't come an inch close in knocking him off the ballot. Now, a crowd packed the Cedar Door in downtown Austin Tuesday night to support the governor and wait for his speech. During it, he touted his accomplishments, including securing the border. The speech ended with a roar of applause and promises from Abbott.
And we are going to stand for what Texas stands for, and we are going to fight and unite, and we're going to win this election. With your help, working every single day, we will keep Texas, Texas.
And on the Democratic side, frontrunner Austin Representative Gina Hinojosa, she secured the nomination for governor with more than 59% of the vote in the Democratic primary. She's now going to face Governor Greg Abbott in November. And at her watch party in San Antonio, she took aim at the governor as she looks ahead to November.
I've never been afraid of Greg Abbott. And I'm certainly not afraid of him now. He took $1 billion from our neighborhood public schools for his voucher scam to give to unaccountable private schools to pay for the tuition for wealthy parents for kids already in private schools.
And get this, if Governor Abbott wins the general election in November, he will become the longest serving governor in Texas.
There will be a runoff in the Republican race for Texas Attorney General. 12 News reporter Cameron Burchett breaks down what happened last night.
Tia, Mark, we know right now that there will be a runoff for the Republican Attorney General race in May. But first, let's take a look at how the election night results turned out. Texans will elect a new Attorney General since Ken Paxton ran for Senate. On the Republican side of the primary, State Senator Mays Middleton led with 40% of the vote, and Texas Congressman Chip Roy followed with 30%, sending the two men to the May runoff. State Senator John Huffman received 14%. Former DOJ Attorney Aaron Ritz also received 14%. On the Democratic side, State Senator Nathan Johnson led the way against Attorney Tony Box and the former Galveston Mayor Joe Jaworski. Once again, Mays Middleton and Chip Roy will be heading to the runoff in May. In studio, Cameron Burchett, 12 News.
And as Cameron was just saying, those primaries, they do continue in May with those runoffs, and voters, they need to be prepared. The last day to register for that runoff is Monday, April 27th, 2026. So don't miss your chance to make sure that you are eligible to vote. Early voting, that's going to begin Monday, May 18th. It's going to run through Friday, May 22nd that week, giving voters a head start before Election Day. And of course, Election Day for this primary runoff is May 26th. And election night in Newton County, it didn't go as planned after a vote counting machine froze just minutes after the polls closed.
That problem caused hours of delays as election results were slowly released. 12 News reporter Derek Jones has more in studio. Derek.
Mark and Tia, overnight officials were hand counting the ballots in front of the Newton County Courthouse, writing down the results on a giant whiteboard. Several poll watchers set up lawn chairs to watch this process. Before every election, voting equipment undergoes 3 separate tests to make sure it's functioning properly. At 7 p.m. when polls officially closed across Newton County, problems quickly surfaced when counting machines froze. As of 3:30 this morning, Judge Ronnie Cochran was leading Lee Filyaw by a decent margin. 12 News spoke with Cochran earlier last night. He says he wants to see growth for the county.
We've got high-speed internet all throughout Newton County, working on our roads, just making Newton County attractive. We've got enough water in the state to attract 2 or 3 data centers if they come. But we need to use the water to benefit Newton County rather than send it to out of town.
Technicians did eventually arrive to work on the counting machine, which turns out was having software update issues. Officials say they also plan to review what went wrong last night. In studio, Derek Jones, 12 News.
Moving to Hardin County now, where residents voted on who will serve as their next Justice of the Peace in Precinct 3. That's the largest precinct in Hardin County, encompassing a portion of Lumberton, Kuntz, Wildwood, and more. Incumbent Judge Rod Owsley will receive a second term. He nabbed 58% of the vote against challenger Sonny Overstreet. Let's check out more Hardin County races. In Precinct 1, incumbent Chris Ingram fell to his challenger Robert Ward Jr. 48 to 52%. As for Precinct 6, incumbent Kathy Brown took a huge lead against Randall Navarre. She'll remain in office after getting 81% of that vote. For Orange County Commissioner, in Precinct 2, incumbent Chris Sowell has retained his seat against challenger Colleen Owens. Precinct 2 covers all of Mauriceville and Pinehurst, along with parts of Orangefield, Vidor, and Orange. Camp Mystic faces a court hearing today that could determine whether it can reopen this summer. We'll have the latest details coming up.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things.
You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too, and that's why we did something about it.
We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers.
We are normal people just like you.
And together, we can make a difference.
Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
409 Sports. To us, it's about so much more than a highlight, wins or losses.
It's the heart that makes up the game, the triumph of the human spirit.
It's agony and victory, diehards and day ones. It can divide or unify a community.
We give you the stats, but then we inspire you with the stories. The unpredictable, unforgettable, and incomparable.
We bring it to you all because sports lives in the 409.
As Texans, we have many reasons to be proud of the Lone Star State. Showing our pride by saying, "Don't mess with Texas," means we gotta step up, walk the walk. Do our part to keep Texas clean. Because after all these years, all these miles, all these traditions, for all us Texans, don't mess with Texas means don't litter.
It's hard to really come to terms with dementia. There are little things that you can't even begin to plan for that happen that you need the early diagnosis for. My mom has done so much for me. There's no way that I wouldn't do the same for her. It's so important to have the conversation with your doctor earlier because you just do not know what the future holds.
Are you at the mercy of your bladder? If leaks are keeping you from living your best life, you should know that it doesn't have to be that way. Incontinence can be treated. Don't wait to get the help you deserve. The National Association for Continence is a nonprofit organization that's helped millions get on the path to a life without leaks. Visit nafc.org now to download your free pelvic floor muscle training kit and become the boss of your bladder.
Camp Mystic heads to court today in a case that could determine whether the camp is allowed to reopen this summer. Amanda Henderson joins us from Austin with more details.
So this hearing is tied to the lawsuit that was filed by the family of the final missing Camp Mystic camper, Seal Stewart. And she is one of 27 campers and counselors who died in last year's July 4th floodwaters while attending Camp Mystic. A lawsuit against Camp Mystic is getting its first day in court.
We know that these camps have been combed over by law enforcement, by experts, by lawyers for months.
Now the legal team for the family of Seal Stewart, a camper killed in last year's floodwaters and not yet recovered, will make their case before a judge. They're asking for a temporary restraining order, which would not only stop construction at Camp Mystic, but keep it closed until their lawsuit is resolved. KHOU 11 legal expert Carmen Rowe explains the significance of the hearing.
I think the court's clearly acting diligently to deal with this in this case and maybe help others to understand how it will be dealt with going forward in other cases.
Camp Mystic's license is only valid until March 31st, according to Texas Department of State Health Services records. They have until that date to apply for a new one. In a statement, one of Camp Mystic's attorneys, Michael Watts, says in part, quote, "We disagree with the misinformation in the legal filings regarding the actions of Camp Mystic and Dick Eastland, who lost his life as well. We will thoroughly respond to these accusations in due course."
This is one of 5 lawsuits that's been filed against Camp Mystic and is now making its way through the legal system. You may recall last week, the lieutenant governor asked the state to not approve the camp's license until legislative investigations are complete. In Austin, I'm Amanda Henderson.
Weather impact alert for this weekend, especially Saturday night going into Sunday, as we'll see a cold front push into the area. Not going to exactly go all the way through, but close enough that we'll get some possible heavy rains and a few thunderstorms out there. General thunderstorms, not looking for widespread severe weather or anything like that, but we could see some gusty winds, a lot of lightning, of course, with some of the thunderstorms. And we're looking at maybe a couple of inches of rain through Saturday and Sunday. So not 2 inches of rain each day, but 2 inches of rain for the entire weekend. So we can handle that much rain, so we're not expecting any, like I said, severe weather or flooding or anything like that. I would download the 12 News Plus app if you haven't already got it. That way over the weekend you can check the radar there and you can get out and maybe get some outdoor activities in between some of the rain here and there, because it's not going to rain all day Saturday and Sunday, especially Saturday. I think we might see a few showers during the day. It's really Saturday night we'll see some of the heaviest rain. Temperatures out there this morning in the 60s once again. 67 seems to be pretty popular. Kirbyville, Orange, and Beaumont at 67. Then Port Arthur and Silsbee at about 68, 66 in Jasper, and 65 in Woodville. Outside here around the Triangle, we've been seeing some mostly cloudy skies, and then up in Jasper, up towards the lakes area, this camera brought to you by Provalis, looking at some mostly sunny skies right now. So it'll look like we'll see generally partly cloudy skies throughout the day, kind of variable clouds throughout the day on our Roofing 911 Live Skycam network. Have a cold front to our north. This will come down close to us as we head towards the weekend and kick off some of those showers and maybe a few thunderstorms. Right now, most of the activity is well to our north. Oklahoma, Arkansas, Missouri, Kansas, they're getting some of the showers and thunderstorms out there for this morning. Temperatures climb from the 60s to the 70s through mid-morning, and then we'll get up close to the lower 80s for today. So it's going to be a nice warm afternoon once again with south to southeasterly winds at about 5 to 15 miles per hour. We'll start off your evening in the 70s, but then jump back into the 60s, and with some mostly cloudy skies, maybe a little patchy fog overnight. We'll see temperatures holding into the 60s heading into looks like Thursday morning. So no rain today. Southeasterly winds at 5 to 15. I should say if we could get a couple of sprinkles here and there, but that's about it. Temperatures will be in the lower 80s, and then for tonight, a lot of 60s out there, middle 60s with southeasterly winds between about 5 and 10. Don't forget, about 9 p.m. till midnight, that's when we'll see probably our strongest thunderstorms move through the area, and we're not expecting severe weather. We're talking about some gusty winds and some lightning here and there. And just be aware, stay weather aware for the weekend going into Saturday and Sunday. We'll finally get some rainfall. We need the rain, so hopefully we'll catch a couple of inches of rain for Saturday and Sunday. Today's dry, tomorrow's dry. Friday we'll put in a small chance of rain. Then, of course, you can't help but notice the weather impact alert for the Saturday and Sunday as we turned them on colored to red for those days, just to be careful out there. And then Monday, rain chances at 20%. Tuesday, we'll see temperatures climb into the lower 80s. So this front is really not going to bring us colder weather, but it will bring a little bit drier weather as we head towards Monday and into Tuesday.
All right, thank you, Jeff. In Port Arthur, Chenier and the Small Business Development Center at Lamar State College, Port Arthur, they are hosting a free working Is Your Business Ready for Government Certifications. Now that workshop starts at 11:30 a.m. and it goes until 1 p.m. and it's held at the Port Arthur Public Library. This event is going to guide small businesses through certification, compliance, and procurement opportunities. Registration is going to close at 10 a.m. And Tuesday marked 100 days until the start of the 2026 FIFA World Cup in North America. World Cup matches are going to begin on June 11th and run through July 19th. And the action is going to take place across 16 cities in the U.S., Mexico, and Canada. Right now, it's unclear if the Iranian team will participate following the recent military strikes by the U.S. and Israel. Now, even before the current conflict, the Trump administration had travel bans in place, including against Iran. While athletes and coaches are exempted, Iranian soccer fans, they would be barred from attending games in California and Seattle. Now, Iranian sports officials, they have not made an official announcement yet on their country's participation.
Back here at home, tough news out of Lamar University in basketball Tuesday. Alvin Brooks will not return as head coach for the men's basketball team next season. Lamar Vice President and Director of Athletics Jeff O'Malley announced earlier Tuesday the Cardinals went 12-19 overall and 7-15 in Southland Conference play and did not qualify for the conference tournament this season. Brooks was Lamar men's head basketball coach for the last 5 seasons and signed a 3-year extension last season.
Well, it's the state semifinals for basketball, and we've got an update on how teams from the 409 are performing, starting with the girls. The Bridge City Lady Cardinals, their run for a state championship. It fell short Tuesday night. They fell to Fredericksburg 49-45 in the state semifinal. Congratulations to the Lady Cards on a phenomenal season. Now turning to the boys, they are competing in the regional semifinal round of their tournament. In 5A Division I, the number 2 Westbrook Bruins, they dispose of the Hendrickson Hawks 67-41. They will battle Richmond in the regional final. And over in 5A Division II, the number 8 Beaumont United Timberwolves, they put down the Weiss Wolves, getting the win 53-41. They're going to face the winner of the Iowa Colony and Fort Bend Marshall in the regional final. And down in 4A Division I, the number 25 Bridge City Cardinals, they faced the Rattlers from Navasota. The Cardinals, they were unable to come back in the second half. They lost 61-52. Their season comes to an end. In Division 3A1, the number 6 Orangefield Bobcats, they won against the Maxia Black Cats 68-56. They will face Fairfield in the regional final at the end of the week. And in the only ranked versus ranked match up in the of Tuesday night, the number 3 Brooklyn Wildcats, they defeated number 14 Moulton Bobcats 79-58. The Wildcats are going to face the winner of Wells and Fayetteville in the regional final at the end of the week. Good luck to all of our area teams.
Don't forget, Daybreak is still giving away those tickets to Moody Gardens every Friday for the next 3 weeks. Winners will get a family 4-pack of tickets. The grand prize winner on March 20th will also get a 1-night hotel stay for 2 adults and 2 kids and a round of golf for 2. Go to 12newsnow.com/contest to enter. And when Daybreak returns on 12 News Plus, we'll have more news and weather in your morning rush hour.
From Dallas to Houston, San Antonio to Austin, it's the news that moves all of Texas. Texas News Now. One power-packed hour with enough Texas news to fill a 10-gallon hat. Your top headlines, weather alerts, and big travel updates. No matter where you're headed, across town or across the state, we've got Texas covered. Texas News Now, weekdays noon, only on 12 News Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
To the spot welders and forklift drivers, to the pipeline technicians and plant operators, to the chemists, custodians, and contractors, and the engineers, pilots, and wellhead pumpers, to the people working day after day keeping our Power City rolling, 12 News is telling your stories.
Extended the temporary restraining order.
When industry news breaks, we're on the front lines, digging into the issue, filtering out rumors, and giving you the facts direct from inside sources.
Lamar is working to protect Power City from hackers.
Taking on the story from all sides and all angles with award-winning coverage.
The company filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy.
Southeast Texas is a power city, and we're bringing the power to you. 12 News, putting Southeast Texas first.
This is a tornado on the ground.
And the roads are slippery.
We have a tropical storm warning.
Look at this water.
Street flooding in Beaumont.
It is going to get extremely cold.
The metal building blew away from a business.
Staying safe behind the wheel is imperative.
Find a safe spot, move to an interior room.
Just make sure you're staying safe.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on 12 News Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
No matter where we start, every mile brings us closer. And as Texans, we take care of each other along the way. We lend a hand, slow down, and take our time. At the end of the day, we all want to get home safe. Drive like a Texan. Kind, courteous, and safe.
Welcome back to Daybreak, 7:55 right now. It's time for your morning rush out.
Here's everything you need to know as you start your day. First up, a Texas Senate District 3 race was called later last night with Trent Ashby securing 63% of the vote. Rhonda Ward conceded after getting 36%. Ashby will now go on to face Democrat Bobby Tillman in the November general election.
And in Jefferson County, there was an upset in the Commissioner for Precinct race last night in the Democratic primary. Beaumont City Council member A.J. Turner, he beat incumbent Bo Alfred, who served in that role for more than 20 years. Now, Turner said at his victory celebration last night that he felt humbled and gracious, and he thanked Alfred for his years of service.
The primaries will continue in May, and voters need to be prepared. Here are the deadlines to keep in mind. The last day to register to vote is Monday, April 27th. Early voting runs from May 18th through the 22nd. Election day, May 26th.
As we take a look at our 7-day forecast, can't help but notice the big red bars there on Saturday and Sunday. Weather impact alert for those 2 days, thanks to some rain moving into the area. Expecting a couple of inches of rain over the weekend. No severe weather really expected, and no flooding or anything like that. Just some scattered showers and thunderstorms. Temperatures generally in the lower 80s through the next 7 days.
Reasons to Smile, sponsored by Reisinger and Vols Orthodontic Specialists.
Here's a reason to smile. The Lamar University softball team, they got their first home win of the season last night. They knocked off Sam Houston 10-5 out of the LU softball complex. The Cardinals, they're going to begin their Southland Conference play this Friday in Lake Charles against McNeese. As always, let's go Big Red.
Woo, let's go.
Jeff, you love softball, don't you, Jeff?
My daughter played a lot of softball growing up. She played travel ball, went on to play college ball, so I've seen hundreds of softball games.
All right.
Thanks so much for watching.
We'll be back at 11.
Have a great day, everybody.